Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. It is 8:04 a.m., 7 KAS 486, 8 RRT 247, 7 VCA 667, at Holt and Euclid Avenue. State's fake sent over me at 630 North Fern, 8Y79. 202 6XBN 495 8MOX 009 CSCTDG 5GLC 279, I believe. Can't really see that one. ASC Heart INC 7ZQL 788 7NHM 390 8VKS 276. It's 8:05 a.m. and it is Wednesday, October 6, 2021. SENSATIONAL is stalking with light at transit with the peculiarized light, facing Euclid Avenue, and it is 8:06 a.m. Federal stalking in the restroom at 150 East Holt Boulevard, 8:07 a.m. It's activity creation and relevant positioning, and that is also a sexually violent threat. That's P.O.C. Fake sun is over the venue as well. That's what I just took a picture of. SENSATIONAL is outside creating peculiarized light in relevant position, and you literally have a demon-possessed stalker enter the bathroom to create activity. There is no form. This is 150 East Holt Boulevard. I also need to document Allied Universal. They are a staple third party, if you will, here at 150 East Holt, engaging in bathroom monitoring regularly with what are state actors at this building. This is a state facilitating venue, Ontario Public Health Clinics. Monitoring in relevant position, monitoring in the bathroom, monitoring to the peculiarized light created, monitoring as the people are patrolling around, monitoring as the state is stalking via aircraft, and while the state's fake sun and directed light is inside and outside of the venue. The fake sun is above the venue, okay, outside. That's P.O.C. It's 8:08 a.m. All right, it is 8:16 a.m. The state is amplifying plane activity. And 150 East Holt, they're monitoring with communication devices. The state's fake sun is over the venue. They're monitoring in the private space. And that was SENSATIONAL that was stalking, engaging in federal stalking at the private space. Doing so just like they do when they park in relevant position at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. They're doing the same thing while they park on the opposite side of the street with hazard lights on. That stalking with peculiarized light. 1484813. And this is a group stalker. Let me get this license plate. Just stalking in the path. And Tracy honking at me thinking I'm not going to get this license plate. He's under the fake sun, stalking in the parking lot. License plate 7CUY442, ATKL492. And that's City of Riverside, that's stalking in a white van. This African-American female, 8NID607. under the fake sun, which begins, by the way, while I'm inside of the vehicle, aiming directed light onto the ceiling inside of the vehicle at 630 North Fern, follows to the health building. And as I showed you yesterday, follows the Fontana as well. It is 8:17 a.m. That is Sentas engaging in sexual violence and facilitation of that sexual violence while they're stalking with peculiarized light. It is 8NDU 718, 5NTA 097, 7BKJ 710, 8AO 7867, 8PTN 608, 6DTD 265, 5SHY 731, 7SLR 414, 8RAF 301. License plate 6MEU 617. License 54796K2. 8GWD 285 6LOW 959. The fake sun moving from above the parking lot of 150 East Hall over me and keeping in alignment with the vehicle traveling north. This is federal stalking, and that was sexual violence as they were engaging in federal stalking in a bathroom. All right, that is, it's 8:18 a.m. (00416C) 1 Ride on Time LLC, using that vehicle monitoring under the fake sun. 5XPA 096, 8JNX. I can't really see that on your discretion.
That is a fact that Facebook has been anxious.
5XOJ 402, 8HZC 277, 7KUJ 915. And
Facebook's own research
00001M2.
misinformation and political unrest, but the company hides what it knows.
Okay, at third-party facilitating venue Arco at 434 East Street. State's fake sun over the Arco. I already showed you how the state was reaching underneath the covering of that gas station that she's parked under to touch me with directed light. They're monitoring across the street at Chevron as well. It is 8:20 a.m. License plate 27870A3, and the trailer attached is 1JT6549. Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue is monitoring. Ontario police are stalking in the path parked in front of that Starbucks on Euclid Avenue, where the state's fake sun is not over and moving what is south from G Street, as I have documented walking from G Street. The state's fake sun is over 630, and as she drives south, she gets on, she's proceeding south on Fern, and then she takes what is a Palm to Holt. This is the path that I'm showing you, the total opposite direction, contrary to what I've documented. But I've already shown the state's fake sun was in Fontana and then remains in alignment with me as I'm on Route 66 back to Foothill. But yet the state engages in acting like the sun is setting. That's the state's fake sun that remains over me while I am walking what is east and west in front of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library at exit time. All right, the Ontario police are stalking at Starbucks located at 507 North Euclid Avenue, and the state is aiming directed light on that venue. That's called light on the surface over there. They're monitoring. And the state's fake sun is right here over the Arco that is across the street. It is 8:21 a.m. And by the way, what you hear in the car, this radio, it's called audible activity while Tracy Banks is monitoring. She cares not about being informed about any matters. She's creating audible activity. She's monitoring while the state's fake sun is keeping in the window of the vehicle that she's driving in, while she's monitoring using interstate commerce to do so, monitoring with the people of the state, just like Omnitrans was doing. The same exact demon possession, the same exact public entity, okay? It's the same demonic entity, the same public entity, and she's creating activity while she is monitoring me while I'm in her car. Monitoring me while I'm in the bathroom, while my genitalia is exposed, while I'm physically indisposed, she's monitoring to that. 8TIZ 854, and she engages in criminal facilitation with the same police department. Understand, it is no different. I only know this third party's name. I know this demon's name. That's the only difference. And my ability to tolerate and deal with her is not in any way suggesting that she's not engaging in the P.O.C. I am documenting her day in and day out. It's 8:22 a.m. Group stalker with license plate 6MMP391. Directed light on the ceiling of the ARCO, 8LWT048. These are demons that are crossing path, and Ontario Police is loitering in relevant position at Starbucks at 507 North Euclid. Stalking in the parking lot of the Ontario Veterinary Hospital. It is 8:22 a.m. using their brake lights. This is demonic activity. 5 DVN 368. Ontario Police monitoring to that. City of Ontario, crossing path going north on Euclid. 8VA903. I can't really see that one. It is 8:23 a.m. And Starbucks at 507 North Euclid engaging in the same P.O.C. while I'm across the street. The demons that are the people of the state line around the building through the drive-thru and enter inside of the building. They're all monitoring. 6MMP391, magnified size of the shadow of that vehicle. Fake sun is directly over the ARCO. And I'll go ahead and take a picture of that. Alrighty, took a picture of what is the state's fake sun right over the ARCO, and I just took a picture while I'm at 150 East Hall. State's fake sun is right over there. This demon-possessed stalker sitting at the stall number 7, paper plate BE15W31, stalking in the path. Stalking at Chevron located at 506 Euclid Avenue. It's 8:23 a.m. Fake sun over the ARCO. Ontario Police stalking in the path. It's 8:24 a.m. 8RRK 852 or 652, excuse me. 6TNX 772. 6WHH 975. That's operation of a communication device. 63039K2. Relevant positioning via Starbucks. And Ontario Police. That's vehicle number 1871. Where the fake sun is traveling north in relevant position to me on in the vehicle. And what I took pictures of is the picture of the fake sun over 150 East Holt and a picture of the fake sun over ARCO right now at 434 East Holt. That's audible activity and activity. I'm sorry, operation of a communication device.
I have an appointment today that I can't make. It's
license plate 7SG. I can't really see that one. This is City of Ontario, stalking with light, peculiarized light, just like SINTES was outside of the back. This is the use of peculiarized light while they sit at the Meridian and put up a sign called men working ahead. They're stalking. They're monitoring. 4CTL337. That's the municipality, City of Ontario. It's 8:25 a.m. at G Street in Euclid.
Let me see here. Maybe Thursday? Tomorrow?
8KXM2987DHC 975.
I'm sorry?
8AQF4787XEM491.
Let's see. All right.
8WVU810. It's 8:26 a.m.
Anything earlier or a cancellation?
Let's see. 5HLE191, I believe.
All right.
Stalking with light, 8XTE196.
I'm off on Tuesdays and Thursdays for now.
8GFY186, I believe.
No, that won't work.
Let's see. 7SGW214, 8AKD224, 8XUP065, 1418534. That's a school bus monitoring with minors.
I'll try.
Using that school bus, the same fake sun riding over that, riding in, in relevant position to me, in relevant position. 6GQC932.
No idea how that appointment was set. And I
license plate. This is called audible activity. There is no form. The fake sun is over her car. P.O.C. 5UGB873.
Yeah, I hear you.
You can call talking about you got a hernia. It's audible activity.
I will.
FJ223, that's a handicap. 6UCX427, 7MRU546, 8ESU587.
Right,
in front of what is, let's see, third party facilitating venue. 1222, where the fake sun is directly in alignment with the vehicle moving north. All right, and that is at 8:27 a.m. as I am going up north Euclid. 7RBY845, I believe. 1870121, 8MUB744. 44381L2, in case I didn't read that one already. Third party facilitating venue 1446 Euclid Avenue. $79916Y2. United Rentals US.899748. Monitoring. 8TXN709 8DNK 606. At Deodore and Euclid. 7UAH929.
Maybe that day I was a lily pad. Maybe that day I said, wow, I heard your demo tape. It sounds
It
really
is
good.
8:29 a.m. at the 10 freeway, and directed light moving inside of the vehicle, and possible light activity while 8TXN709 is creeping on the passenger side, and that's the same pattern of moving light on the inside of the vehicle. It's demonic activity, and that's an act of terrorism, engaging it not only by the vehicle that I'm inside of, and all of them are monitoring. Again, that's 8TXN709, directed light, a line of directed light on the inside of the car in front of my face. 8DNK 606. These are demons, all right? It's demonic activity. And that's a psychopath and a sex offender, the same one that sits in a bathroom stall and waits for me to walk past them so that they can engage in monitoring with SINTAS, who was sitting across the street stalking with light, while the state's fake son is over that parking lot. Okay? 6ZCB 928. It's the same demonic entity. It's 8:29 a.m. 8HTX 314. Paper BT33F58, excuse me. 8SHP 270.
9 years in, 10 years is too much to just keep on trying it. I don't think I can handle it. So I can tell
That
you,
is
on the night
pro
of my
towing.
30th birthday, we did the photo shoot for the first album cover.
Wow.
So on July
Security paving, California 4851. Let's see my license plate. Staples, stalking with peculiarized light, parked in front of 350 Euclid Avenue, the Inland Pain Medicine, or Medicare. 6GDZ 143, 5P18411, 8DDK 492, 7BBA 591, and this is Pro Towing 78263C3.
And then that took us through 5 years of,
7NEM 127, 5WMD 288.
everything was destroyed. My marriage was bad. The band went bankrupt. Me and Dee filed for bankruptcy. Lost everything, and I became a single.
It's 8:31 a.m.
And then how I recovered from that, which is also in the book, is
at 8th Street in Euclid. State's fake sun in alignment with the vehicle. It is, let's see. All right, State's fake sun now at what is 204 North Euclid Avenue. 7-Eleven right in front of the vehicle, through the window, 6ZEL 735, 7WVU 751. 4VQD29. I'm sorry, 4VQD 999. 8SQU 712. 8VKT 474. 42555Y1. 8LWJ 688. 7HBM 473. 34164D2. It's 8:32 a.m. All right, I did show video speaking to what is monitoring by every third party, including the one driving me, which is direct evidence against the entirety of that entity. I just happen to know that third party's name. The fake sun does not remain over her head. It doesn't remain over every other third party. It's remaining right here at 7-Eleven. So while you are driving north to, let me get this, 8LWJ688, and while you are driving north and south, whatever direction on Euclid Avenue, the state's fake sun is remaining stationary. In other words, they are crossing path in that light that the state is aiming on me and the surfaces all around me, which is the practicing of demonic activity. I want to get this license in case I didn't read it, but I believe I did 7HBM 473. And while these demons patrol, just like the demon that was sitting in the car waiting for me to engage in the stalking with activity, all right? And while they do so, that vehicle, the black and white box car, whatever brand car that is, it's in the video, uses the ignition as audible activity, and directed light swipes the front of the 7-Eleven while the fake sun is behind that car. That's absolutely impossible. That's the same ongoing demonic conduct of stalking with light. And that is what's called terrorism while federal stalking by the demon-possessed are underway. In addition to what is the fake sun that is over 204 North Euclid Avenue, as opposed to being over the U.S. Bank at 20 West Foothill Boulevard, up the street at Foothill, where the state moved its fake sun to be in the window of the Omnitrans vehicle that I went to Fontana in. And also, I also documented being at that same address before this time right now, where the state's fake sun is stationary over the 7-Eleven, while demons are in relevant position creating activity, monitoring me, outwardly conducting themselves like the psychopaths they are, like they're doing something else. They're stalking, okay? You have what is the state's fake sun, as I documented, at 7:50 a.m. And then I went the opposite direction. I went west on Foothill, and what did the state's fake sun do? It remained over my head, all right? In conflict with that, and that's just the city of Upland. The state's fake sun is never going to be over 204 North Euclid Avenue, where I'm remaining at the Wells Fargo, for example, at Euclid Avenue and C Street, and the Ontario Open Family Community Library, at the B&G Plaza. You have what is remaining still at this time at the Ontario Museum of History and Art, and the state's fake sun is over my head, over that property, remaining in perfect alignment with me in the city of Ontario, okay? So you have what is literally the absence of any credibility by any third party. This is blatant terrorism by the demon-possessed, because this is not only federal stalking, this is conduct of a group of psychopaths that are stalking with a government, and every element as they engage in it, it's the practicing of demonic conduct, all right? That's terrorism. 34164D2, packed full of Latino males. And if they're not from this country, they are to be shipped out of here while they're monitoring an American citizen stalking, all right? Directed light tailing behind that vehicle, sitting under the fake sun, Latino males in 42555Y1, all right? Same policy. License plate, let me get this one, 4ML7131. And I'm gonna get that one right now. Stalking in the path, exits the 7-Eleven. As I start walking, he's stalking with activity. BS81A56. That's a paper plate. And his license plate I already read, so he's remaining on the cameras inside a 7-Eleven. And again, stalking with activity. This is a demon that waits for the opportunity to create activity with simultaneity to what you're doing. As I begin walking right now to get that new license plate, this demon with the license plate 8SQU712 on camera inside of 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, directed light on the driver's side of his vehicle while he opens the door, and the fake sun is hitting the passenger side of his vehicle, just like I showed you with the emergency vehicle yesterday. The woman in the white van, that was a demon-possessed stalker, driving a commercial van, like a medical attention van, directed light, my magnified size of my shadow, the same demonic activity, okay? He exits the 7-Eleven on camera. You're looking at what is a demon stalking with activity, focusing on what I'm doing. Guess what? That's the same thing while they're looking like they're shopping for bananas and getting a soda out the fountain drink. Those demons are inside of the 7-Eleven focused on what I'm doing, knowing what I'm doing. It's the same thing when I am inside of the restroom and my panties are down, genitalia is exposed, and those demons are stalking all around, and then they enter in or maintain presence before you enter in order to engage in that demented stalking conduct in that private space. That's what you're prosecuting for. That's what you're creating policy to prosecute for, because that is the nature of the sexually violent and predatory conduct of the demon-possessed who engage in federal stalking. And this morning it was documenting SINTAS, documenting the state facilitating video of what is the Ontario Public Health Clinics. It's 8:38 a.m., excuse me. All right, I did exit. I completed a purchase at 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue. I just want to document these license plates. 6XTZ806 and 6LBD918. And it is 8:43 a.m. All right, coming around the corner. This is stalking in the path, maintaining presence as I move around. 7NHK405. License plate 5XAS604. Seven DTM. Well, you can scratch that one. That's called amplified audible activity. You can get this license plate coming from back behind the building at 60 East 9th Street. Being a super duper stalker. License plate. Oh, they're all super duper stalkers, but he's coming from back behind of the building. 7FML376.
Let me be clear, they're all super duper stalkers. I'm revealing what's demonic activity. All right, but he's driving from behind a building at 8:44 in the morning. P.O.C. What is that? Supposed to be an assault or something? Yeah. Oh, you parking it? Go ahead, bro. Hey. That's P.O.C. He comes driving in front of me like he's going to park behind over here at Steel Details Inc. License 8SFS137. Come here for what? Why what?
Why you walked over there and went on go fast?
Why did you? How about this? Since you're asking random ass questions,
no, it's not a random ass question. That was a random ass thing of you to do.
I'm talking on my phone and I'm holding up my phone and I look at the back of your car. Why are you assuming I'm doing anything with your car?
Because you said
no, I didn't. You have music blasting. How you know what the hell I said?
Because I know how to fucking hear.
No, you are already driving by. You're a stalker, and that's audible activity. How about you want to ask a random question? Why are you driving behind abandoned buildings in the morning? Get your skinny ass in your car, you stalker. Bye. License 7BRJ227. That's dealing with the threat. That's P.O.C. and the same demons that are hostile to being documented. I'm going to document them, and I'm going to tell what they're doing because they're psychopaths. All right, but that's a threat, and you prosecute for that. 7YQU764. He hops in. He looks like a crackhead. He's coming from behind an empty building at 60 East 9th Street. He's playing loud music. You'll hear that on my podcast. And so my walking across the street, even looking at his car, is not telling him anything about what I'm doing. Of course, I'm looking at his car. He's driving around. And I want to be clear, he engages in assault with a deadly weapon. He makes a U-turn, drives back down this street, and stops in front of me. So at first I disregard because I guess he's acting like he's going to drive inside of the driveway, even though he's monitoring, okay? He's monitoring, and that's intentional conduct. But he gets out of his car, and so this is where that 7DQL122, or you can scratch that, I can't really see that. But I want to be clear, not only are you monitoring, and so I'm going to document your license plate, I confront them with they don't even make sense. You're playing loud music. How do you know what's coming out of my mouth? I'm not hollering. I walk across the street. You're driving across the street. What does that have to do with one or the other, right? In their twisted universe, but they're monitoring, all right? I happen to be aware of what they're doing, and I'm documenting them. It's license plate. 8:46 a.m. and that was assault with a deadly weapon under the fake sun and hostility. That's harassment by entity, the demon possessed who are monitoring, and I'm going to prosecute the whole entity for that. The same sex offender that wants to touch my breast all day long, Omnitrans, is engaging in that same harassment while you document them. 7RMP388, a demon possessed stalker just making a U-turn. All right, they're doing all of this under that which is not the sun. I'm at the intersection of 1st and 9th Street. There's going to be a very intense prosecution. That's a psychopath, though. Understand that. That's what a psychopath is. Psychopath is not like its secrets being told. And I'm going to announce them on a megaphone. 7N38895. And I'm going to get these demons that are 8MHA971. It's 8:47 a.m. I want to document Metrolink, just like you hear in the background. While demons are stalking in the path to that activity by this hostile demon, because that's the reality of it is, it's a demon-possessed stalker who is hostile. And so to that, he's loitering in relevant position now, showing the fact that he was focused on me from the beginning. You're mad because I know what you're doing and I'm documenting you. That's the reality of these demons that I'm documenting, okay? It's called harassment by entity while in hostility to being exposed as engaging in that which is entirely shameful and embarrassing when you're prosecuted for it, because that's what you're doing. And doing it while you're driving a Mercedes-Benz, guess what? 8NWE016. Her condition is that of demon possession. She's a stalker. She's monitoring to that harassing conduct by that other demon. They're monitoring together, including Metrolink, who you hear in the background. I'm going to get these license plates that were stalking in relevant position with that one, 4PJR984. Lining up on the sidewalk with their headlights on. They were all monitoring on the street at First Avenue. 5JZ177. Mostly over here closest to the First United Methodist Church. And you're going to pay attention to what the state does. Like I said, I'm showing you what are the tactics of the futile and what are those of one that is defeated. All right. Engaging and acting like it's a cloudy day, like the fake sun is not there. It's established as being there day in and day out. Engaging in suddenly it disappearing as I'm documenting a demon-possessed stalker who is representing the government, who engages in assault with a deadly weapon, who engages in what is hostility upon being documented. You're going to prosecute for that. Okay? Because the government that's monitoring you, I dare them, the policy will be such that the government will be prosecuted for every syllable that comes out of the mouth of a demon-possessed stalker, every single last syllable. Because not only is it audible activity, then the government wants to harass you because you're exposing the fact that it is monitoring you. You prosecute profusely for that. 7ZJS742. MACUB was stalking in the path, headlights on at this end of the street, while that demon-possessed stalker decided to just sit there at the intersection after I documented his license plate. 7WWB310 doing the same, and sitting in the car till right now, gets out to use her vehicle as light activity while she's holding the hand of her little Minionite child, which is no form. She's monitoring with a minor. 7YQW181, and let me be clear, irrespective of their demon possession, that condition, that is abuse. That's how you're going to prosecute that. That's abuse of a minor. You're engaging in life-threatening conduct with the government. You are putting that minor's life at risk because engaging in this conduct of monitoring an American citizen, you're engaging in that which is threatening the life of another, and that which is inherently dangerous while you're including minors in that sexually violent, life-threatening pattern of conduct. So this is speaking to what is abuse on that federal level. While you're in the shoes of the government engaging in terrorism, that's what they're doing that's what Mama Cub is doing. That's what they're doing while she's taking pictures of her little minion child, and you're looking at the fake sun right over her head. Those are the psychopaths. I love to show you videos of that because that's a psychopath. And you're going to prosecute. All right, you're going to prosecute for what is including underage children and what is sexually violent, life-threatening terrorism by American citizens and those who probably aren't even American citizens. They're going to be shipped out of here. License 8UYX170, stalking in the parking lot. 7EKJ962, 7R90725, 5PZU491, 7N04287. AQY134, Indiana. 8WAE784, 7NHB250, 7GNP298, 8GDN859, 5WRR913, 8BFV375, stalking with light, 8NMX768. Fake sun is directly over their car while they're stalking in the path. Psychopaths. This is demonic activity. 7VNG293. 7CLD405, 6JVB497, and 7CLD405 is stalking with light. 7CSF769, 7FAZ435, Nevada 169XSB, I Heart RZRBK, 8BZX195, 7RCC197, 8BKJ402, 59636X2, 4ZXN587, 6PKP148, 8EAG454. It's 8:53 a.m. 7WZU268, 21054Y2, 6DVN966, 6ENG913, 4XNA734, can't really see that one, 8AGD124, 8GEP432, 8HXV932. All right, so this license plate, it says, 4XNA734. FR921, that's a handicap plate. And this license plate back here, 7Y07935. It is 8:54 a.m. All right, entering inside of the same parking lot. License plate. Patrolling in, City of Upland behind him. License 8EXM841. What is this, City of Upland? Yeah, this is City of Upland. Vehicle number 392. License 1607198. It is 8:54 a.m. Operation of a communication device. This is a white male driving this City of Upland vehicle, stalking in the path, doing the same exact thing as those that are not in vehicles representing the state and municipality, of the municipality, engaging in criminal facilitation. This is the state acting directly. License plate 8CNR943, driving down the alley in relevant position. All of these minions lined up that I read their license plates of First United Methodist. monitoring, driving off using their ignitions, just like City of Upland. They're demons that are patrolling. RAYNIC1. They're driving off. Mama Cubs driving off. All the psychopaths. All right? They're psychopaths. They are sex offenders. While they're using their little minions engaging in sexual violence of an American citizen who's documenting, I'm going to prosecute you for it. And I'm going to prosecute you even worse because you're holding the hand of your little minion while you're doing it. You're a very nasty, perverted sex offender who reasonably presents danger and sexual harm to the minor that you're engaging in this conduct with. That's exactly how you're prosecuting, because that's what they're doing. You're not going to treat terrorism by a government in the United States any different. Any different. And I want to be clear, City of Upland is engaging in the pattern of conduct visually, because they are stalking and monitoring. They go out of their way to park visually on this street right now, monitoring with the rest of them. 8FSK 502. It is 8:56 a.m. Patrolling in the parking lot and around the Upland Unified School District on what is D Street, where the state keeps its fake sun all day long. They're patrolling with light activity. These are demons that are monitoring as one. So it is license 7WWB310 is stalking, sitting at one end, City of Upland at the opposite end, monitoring by patrolling minions who are driving around. They're just maintaining presence around the perimeter. And don't forget Euclid Avenue, where I've documented what is, first of all, the hallmark, which is that which is not sunlight. And you're talking about what is directed light. I was capturing what is demonic activity while the demons were patrolling. It's one demonic entity maintaining presence. So one demon just after another, crossing path over and over and over again. And the fake sun was over the same building where 7WWB310 is sitting in front at C Street and First, and City of Upland at the opposite end. Okay, they are monitoring together. It's not separate. And then these are also, you're also going to provide the ongoing context. Remember, these are psychopaths who are monitoring the documentation. All right, it is Peculiarized Light. Stalking with Peculiarized Light, that is City of Upland. 7WWB310 is over here, just like I captured her on video under the fake sun, Peculiarized Light, light activity, and she's doing the same thing. I caught this woman on video already. She's monitoring with City of Upland. City of Upland is no distraction. You're looking at, witnessing what is the state monitoring with third parties, and they're one entity. All right, the same psychopath is monitoring, doing the exact same thing while the City of Upland is providing Peculiarized Light. 5PLZ448. I caught this demon's face on video already while the fake sun was directly in front of me, literally over her car, while she's studying her communication device, engaging in the satanic system of monitoring. That's what I captured her doing. That's what she's doing now. It is 8:58 a.m. License plate 7UQK400. Burtec crossing path. 7WWB310 makes a U-turn in the street. That's a means of pacing with light, using our headlights after she loiters in relevant positions, stalking to the Peculiarized Light provided by City of Upland, and the light activity as the demons are patrolling all around, driving all around. It's called repeating crossing path. 8WAT238. The same alley that they drive by when I'm standing on the opposite side of the street, and the state aims impossible light on the brick wall while the demon crosses path. License plate 23425D1. It's 8:59 a.m. City of Upland loitering in relevant position. Criminal facilitation by City of Upland. This is terrorism it is engaging in. You can replace what I've documented about the City of Ontario. Understand they are providing a template of how a municipality engages in a state system of federal stalking on behalf of and in concert with the government, the people of the state. 7CLD405. CCP163, in case I didn't read that one already. License 8TZF181. This demon pacing in her vehicle. She's stalking, loitering around the First United Methodist Church, dropping off the key. There's no form. Whatever she's doing, she's loitering. She makes a U-turn with her vehicle. That's pacing. 8CCP163. City of Ontario, I'm sorry, City of Upland is pacing as well. They're just driving around in circles. They're engaging in relevant positioning, all right? Using peculiarized light and driving around in their, using their utility vehicles. It's no different. You're looking at an emblem versus getting an ordinary license plate. These are the same demons, and I want to get the California license number of City of Upland. License plate 1395395, City of Upland. And, oh, that one doesn't have a California U.S. number. I'll get that one. You do have SINTES also stalking with peculiarized light. And again, that's the absence of coincidence, not only because of the pattern of conduct, all right? They're stalking with peculiarized light. But SINTES goes from, you have what is SINTES going from the transit in relevant position, knowing that I'm documenting the fact that SINTES is a sex offender engaging in affirmative conduct of sexual violence, and doing so with a company name. I'm going to prosecute and associate that, because that's what they've done. They've associated that company, 4SB9300, with sexual violence. Stalking with with peculiarized light with the City of Upland in relevant position to where I am now in the city of, at the intersection of 1st and C Street in the City of Upland, following at the, in the City of Ontario under the fake sun. Okay, under the same fake sun, it's the absence of coincidence. You are literally, I am documenting what is stalking from place to place by SINTES. Okay, it's the same entity, but I'm just showing that's exactly what FedEx does. You're under the fake sun. That is FedEx following me from place to place to place. That under the fake sun and in direct light, that is the United States Postal Service following me from place to place to place. And what is that? That is Satan operating over those, which is nothing but a means of identifying what is demonic activity. Demonic activity occurring through what is the United States Postal Service, through what is FedEx, through what is Amazon Prime, through what is SINTES, while that the demonic entity knows that I'm documenting it. That's a threat posed by those actors, and you drain the pockets and you prosecute them criminally. 8XTA266, 8DJB237. SINTES, I'm going to go ahead and get a license plate. This is criminal facilitation while they sit in relevant position. That demon-possessed stalker now hopping out of the truck has been sitting in relevant position as I start walking. He looks very, very skinny. Looks very, very skinny, but I doubt he's a crackhead because he's working for SINTES, but actually that doesn't mean anything. There are a lot of functioning drug addicts. But anyway, I want to get the license plate of SINTES. This is license plate 52D6381, stalking with peculiarized light. This demon, let me give you a picture of this. All right, SINTES license plate 52063B1, stalking with peculiarized light. Engaging in criminal facilitation, monitoring, stalking with City of Upland. They're stalking with peculiarized light. Paper plate BS48A62. And like I showed on video, I wanted you to see that that demon was sitting in the truck of the SINTES truck. Nothing, was not doing anything, was stationary. The moment I started walking, because I said it out loud, I said, I'm going to go get this light. The moment I started walking, he hops out I see his little skinny self hop out of the passenger side of that truck, and he starts pushing this little cart you see. And I took video of that because I just want you to see what is the absence of any form. First of all, you can, like I said, you can call yourself doing something so important. It does not matter. Nothing is superseding the pattern of conduct. You're looking at how demons conduct themselves. Demons that don't have any form, all right? You're looking at Satan that's hoping that you're distracted by the fact that you're holding the hand of a cute little girl that's demon possessed also. 8TSH291. That's what you're looking at. You're not going to be distracted by that. The elements govern, and the environment that they are in, which is one that the state is engaging in ongoing manipulation of, while the psychopaths are monitoring the documentation. 8PKX366, 8HXW578. The dirty hamper. License plate 6W93940, 6KCH335. And you have what is the state keeping its fake sun, starting the day where I am at 630 North Fern Avenue, aiming directed light inside of that vehicle, molesting my body with it, touching the inside of the vehicle. The car was parked on Fern in front of 630 North Fern, facing what was north. And the state is aiming directed light through the passenger side, and is touching what is the ceiling. City of Upland, no longer loitering, vehicle number 392, leaving from what is loitering in relevant position. Understand City of Upland is monitoring with SINTES, who is at the opposite end, creating peculiarized light. And City of Upland that entered that parking lot, stalking with peculiarized light. That's terrorism by City of Upland, okay? It's 9:06 a.m. So you have what is, let me get this license plate, 7HTL324. So you have what is the state starting the day. That is like it's rising. And understand that that is impossible to coexist with what I clearly documented with the state engaging in conduct like the sun is rising over the Ontario Museum of History and Art. Those are distinctly different locations. All right, it's not coexisting. You're not central over my head, directly over my head, aiming light inside of the vehicle like the sun is rising. And by the way, I've also captured it over 6PO North Fern as early as 8 in the morning, and I'm capturing it still 10:39 a.m. The state's fake sun is remaining over Fern, over the vehicle that I'm in specifically, after 10:30 in the morning, 2 hours on the same street. That's what the state does. So anyway, you have what is the maintenance of directed light, aiming it onto my body, into the car, all right, and onto the ceiling of just aiming it all inside of the car. All right, this is where the state is starting. And then I'm showing you, documenting as I go from there. Then it's clearly over 150 East Holt, where CENTAS was stalking in the path with peculiarized light. CENTAS isn't acting alone. I'm just identifying how CENTAS engaged in P.O.C. stalking with peculiarized light. It's an act of terrorism, and it's sexually violent. While I'm going to what the demonic entity, the public entity that is stalking and monitoring, knows that I'm going to use the restroom in the private space. They're sex offenders. Under that, which is clearly not the sun, with knowledge of what you're documenting, that's a very violent sex offender, okay? Insists on being present in the bathroom while you're there, listening and engaging in surveillance to what you're doing, all right? And that's a very violent sex offender, so I just want to be clear, and that's exactly why I took a picture. State's fake sun is over what is 150 East Holt. State's fake sun is over the Arco at East Street, 434 East Street in Ontario. Remains in relevant position going north of Euclid Avenue. Remains at the 7-Eleven as Tracy Banks drives off, no longer remaining in a relevant position to her vehicle, as I'm clearly shown in video. All right, 7SXT338, 115XV handicap, 8XHW089. So because the state wants to, for the next 30 minutes, and especially as I document the entity engaging in hostility to documentation, which is an ongoing threat to me, and understand, I'm not just documenting, I am advocating on behalf of the ordinary target individual who is subject to such a system, lacking the ability to, how else are you going to confront a government engaging in this? And while you're talking about what is terrorism, all right, you have what are minions that engage in group conduct and are basically establishing whatever it is that they think they can establish just by virtue of their audible activity. They're liars. These are demons and they're liars. That's what criminal summoning at the Upland Public Library was about. That's what criminal summoning at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library was about. That's what criminal summoning at Starbucks located at 507 North Euclid Avenue was about. That's what criminal summoning at Starbucks located at 706 West Holt was about. While those demons are very fearful of my documentation, showing the reality, the truth, I don't have to exaggerate, and I'm not going to stop documenting criminal activity by a government as it's acting through the people of the state. It is the ultimate act of bullying. And so the ordinary target individual is being provided with policy whereby they can enforce their rights, and there is no entity, no demonic entity and no public entity that's going to obstruct justice. You're going to create policy because of the tendency of demons. This is the conduct, the behavior of demons to want to obstruct justice, right? Very hostile. All right, but it's going to be done. It is already done. All right, I'm going through and showing you and actually publishing to the world to understand not only is it not a fallacy that the government is monitoring American citizens, this is the practicing of demonic activity, which is not a game. It's not fake. It's very real, and it's actually in your face. You're witnessing it day in and day out, every single day. All right, if you're understanding what it is that you're looking at. And so that is what a psychopath is, by the way. That's what a psychopath is. 7XKL 704, 8KLK 123, 8LOU 456. This is Upland United School District where directed light while those minions drove around me. 8LOA 767, 6NVF 458. So while the state is hiding, and I want to be clear, the fake sun is still present. So while the state engages in subduing its fake sun, they're stalking with light, driving around using their vehicles. All right, that's called stalking with light. While CENTAS, for example, stalks with light, City of Upland, that's how they engage in light, stalking with light. 6PXL211, 6UCY838, 7UQK400, 72318B2, 8UFK250, 8LBF616. R1, and it is 9:11 a.m. 7THZ 931, 6NVF 458. In case I didn't read those. DS662, that's a handicap plate. 46820V1 and 7H20238. Stalking in the path of the driveway of the Upland Public Library. That's the use of the ignition, stalking with activity. As I read that license plate. Just sitting there stalking the entire time while I'm across the street at the Upland Public Library. Okay, 6YXF315, 41968V2, 6CSB130. Five MKT283, excuse me, 5 MKT283, 8 TDD 359, 5 PFC 375, 6 KLW 248, 7 KKY 233, 7 JRV 088, 7 CJPO13, 8 U.S.D 530, 6 VAH 356, 4 YRH 243, 8 KJX 490, 6 YXF 315, 8XZV041, and 7H, the N or M? 7HNM576, 7 PLW 659. It is currently 9:13 a.m. All right, stalking with the state that's amplifying plane engines over my head, this old biddy, 6FLD499, okay? The same exact pattern of conduct. And you hear the door close, she's sitting in her car. The moment I get up and I start recording, she gets out of her car. Not only is this the absence of any form, but that's the creation of audible activity with simultaneity to what I'm doing. State amplifies plane engines, uses an old lady as audible activity and relevant positioning, is zero form, okay? It's P.O.C. License plate, and she's creating activity, okay? Understand how Satan is animating her ongoing demonic behavioral pattern. 6FLD499, a half a block away from dying, okay? And serving Satan till the very end. That's P.O.C. It is currently 9:24 a.m. It's federal stalking by the elderly. All right, license 7VES173. And what they're doing while I sit in the at the little seating area where the Carnegie Library is, the people of the state are using Molly Super as form and going to what is the venue, walking toward the library. This is ongoing pacing as they use their vehicles. They're driving by repeatedly as they are getting in and out of their cars. As they are using their brake lights, and then as they park, reversing, you can see how they are engaging in what is the stalking with light, the maintenance of presence. And this is what they're doing as they are pacing back and forth. And I want to document those that are present in relevant position. License, let me see, 6DTN 399, 7RIE 034, 23425D1. And as well as stalking in the path, meaning they're sitting in their cars in the parking lot being stalkers, just sitting around maintaining presence in the parking lot. And Molly Super, they're being stalkers sitting at that restaurant, being stalkers, all right, doing so. Being stalkers walking to and fro. Being stalkers while they're feeding their face, they're maintaining presence with the state. And you need to understand, that's why I've established what is the environment. That's all that the people are doing, are maintaining presence. These are psychopaths that are engaging in what is incessant form while a demonic targeting system is underway. There's nothing that you're doing that's superseding the pattern of conduct. This stalker that's sitting in their vehicle in the parking lot of the Upland Fire Station, license 7AGB 276, 6TBM 859. And I believe I see Upland Police. I want to document that at State Facilitating Venue. Upland City Hall. This is and City of Upland, parked in relevant position. These are just state actors. It's one entity, but I like to document these are acts of terrorism where they are visibly present because they are stalking incessantly. And visible presence is the communication of a terrorizing threat. While terrorism is underway, that's what federal stalking is amongst the demon possessed by government. License of Upland Police 3011756. And you have what is City of Upland, vehicle 390, license plate 1607237. And so while you have what are third parties, for example, This motorcycle of Upland Police represents the presence of the state law enforcement that are monitoring. Inside of any vehicle, you can have the fire department going to give a ribbon to somebody at the fire station, going to congratulate someone at the library for being a great citizen. Whatever it is that they're using as form for presence. They're monitoring while the people are pacing in front of me in the parking lot using their vehicles to stalk with light. 6X KF315, I believe. Can't really see that one that clearly. They're using their lights as a means of stalking with light. This is pacing. Remember, this is the demonic actor. It's one satanic actor. One. And it's just one faced after another. And that's pacing. And that's what they're doing using their cars while they are parking and then pulling out, driving through. This is the same entity that's engaging in pacing back and forth, maintaining presence. And the state is doing the same thing above in the airspace. Flying above, stalking in plane and helicopter, surrounded by what is satanic activity. All right, and you have what is the use of that conduct for stalking with light in the environment that the state maintains. And it is established that the state is maintaining an environment. There is no getting out of what is the established pattern of conduct. 8GKN496. The state is sounding sirens in the background. All right, that's just literally an ongoing method that the state uses. The state sounds sirens at the drop of a dime, turns the volume up and down, just like I showed you already what the state does with the sound of a train. All right, and that's exactly why a train sounded right now. The psychopath is monitoring the documentation. That tells you what 8WPZ733 is doing. There is no form. 5SBV313, 8URB815. 7NKH446. All right, and guess what this aged Caucasian male in this really nice Corvette is doing? He's demon possessed and he's stalking. All right, let me get LUVNRC8 and 8HYG281, stalking with light, coming to park at Molly Super while the state's sounding train activity. And as I stop walking and monitoring with minor age minions. Monitoring with this one in the Corvette across the street. They're one entity monitoring together. They're surrounding on both sides of the street. That's pacing around with light. This is creating light activity, ZREDVET, okay? Driving a nice Corvette, engaging in satanic activity. 6CSB130, monitoring, stalking with the stalker that is parked at the van in front of the parking lot of the library. This is group conduct, and that's what I'm revealing. 8MBV257. Operation of a communication device, monitoring with the minion in the Corvette, the minion with the two kids in the back seat and his wife in the passenger seat while he is stalking in the past, comes to wants to get in a parking spot where I stand. All right, that's called stalking with activity. As I stand there, somebody comes and wants to park. That is the same stalking with activity conduct. All right, so I'm just literally going from place to place because the pattern of conduct follows me. All right, the demonic entity, just like it does following with the fake sun and following with that which is not sunlight, what they are doing as a group is following me. Okay, and so it is 9:43 a.m. That's P.O.C. as I remain at the parking lot area of the. I'm sitting in the Carnegie Library seating area. And so I'm facing what is the state facilitating venue because the Upland Fire Station, the Upland City Hall, and the Upland Public Library, those are state facilitating venues. And third-party facilitating venue Molly Super is to my left. So that is, it is south of me. It's right here at the intersection of 1st and D Street where the state keeps its fake sun all day long. All right, and the state that is engaging in making its fake sun subdued is in any way, removing itself from the ongoing pattern of conduct, and you see how quickly the state engages in that. It's called obstruction of justice. It's called a psychopath that knows it's being documented. That same psychopath filling the venue with that which is not sunlight. And the reason why I continue to document, because you need to understand the sexual violence that the demon possessed are engaged in. And it is illustrated. It's very vividly understood when you're looking at the environment. It is present there because they are stalkers, and then the stalker follows you in the bathroom. The stalker is monitoring and engaging in surveillance in the bathroom. The stalker knows when your panties are down and wants to stalk you in that condition. That's a demented entity. That's a sex offender. And the entity wants to touch all over you. That's what I documented Omnitrans engaging in, okay? This is a sex offender in every regard. It is 9:44 a.m. That's P.O.C. Okay, Upland Public
library employee uses her vehicle to create light activity, stalking the path where she's already arrived at work. She's leaving early. Understand? She's going to come back. She's creating activity. 6 VAH 356. All right. Or she won't come back because the minions are monitoring my documentation. She is nonetheless using her vehicle after she has already arrived at work and parked in the parking lot to what is for form for the creation of light activity and pacing back and forth. All right. That is the same thing that they're doing with Molly Super. You just have one that comes out of the library and is this is the absence of form, and this is the psychopath that's listening to me document every word. I'm listening to every word that I'm documenting about their psychotic stalking activity. It's 9:46 a.m. and that's the same one that I take pictures of. She's stalking with activity inside, engaging in terrorism. She's a stalker. All right. She uses the teen room. She's the one I took pictures of, and you can literally look at Satan from the back of her head as she knows that I'm documenting her. She even stops in her tracks and then continues to go about her business. They are aware of the fact that I'm documenting everything that they're doing as they're engaging in terrorism. And she's engaging in terrorism right now, engaging in the same conduct. She just comes from the Upland Public Library to engage in the same pacing activity. And she is also the one that I document pacing back and forth through the Brody room, wherever I am at. All right. And then the state engages in amplifying the sound of slamming doors. Those demons engaging in ongoing noise creation inside of the venue. I just want to document that one. It's the same conduct and it's intentional as they listen to me document, for example, how Molly Super is formed for pacing in front of me and pacing using vehicles and light activity. So then you have an Upland Public Library employee come out and use their car and do the same exact thing. It doesn't matter where they're coming from. They're engaging in the elements and it's group conduct and they're psychopaths. All right. It's 9:48 a.m. That's P.O.C. 61509C3 8SEV360. Just staring at the back of his car. That's a demon that's stalking in the path while the demons are pacing around in the parking lot of the library. RT6 6USA. And in case I didn't read this one, 7NHM. Yeah, I read that one already. All right, it's 9:50 a.m. 5JBE 906. The same sex offenders, mother and daughter, demon possession. Those are some sickos, boy. They have issues. But, I mean, it's illustrative of the entire entity, but you literally got mother and daughter engaging in sexually violent conduct. Like, they're tag teaming, being sex offenders. I mean, whew. Issues. FedEx is repeatedly pacing in FedEx vehicles over here in relevant position off of First Avenue. It is 9:50 a.m. License plate. $6GZD 9659. $6GZD 659. Excuse me. And this one over here, parking at the Carnegie Library, is 4SVK 711. 7LJV 437. It's 9:52 a.m. All right, ongoing pacing inside of the parking lot in 4SVK 711. He sits in the parking lot after I read his license plate and understand he's maintaining presence while demons are pacing in and out of the parking lot. It's group activity, and they're monitoring with communication devices. And that's how the group, the demon possessed, are engaging in what is teamwork while they're surrounding with light activity and repeatedly crossing a path. Now, understanding that this is demonic, you're looking at the demonic entity. It's one demonic entity, and it is pacing repeatedly. All right, so as opposed to what's group conduct, you're going to understand what is actually occurring. You have what is the same actor walking back and forth in front of you, or driving back and forth in front of you, which if you saw, you would say, that's very weird. Why are you walking back and forth in front of me? That's what the state is doing, and that demonic activity is hiding amongst a multiplicity of faces, including UPS. Crossing path right now in the parking lot. It is currently 9:55 a.m. Eight ATK 678 NOREENA. And we already read them.
7, yeah, I read that one already. Just sitting in the car. You hear them slamming the car doors. They're just sitting in the car. As I walk by, they close the car doors. I walk by, they press their brake lights. This is demonic activity. 227 UD, handicap. I believe we're 7 MVE024. 5KZS, yeah, I believe I read those already. 8 UGW375, 7 ZTF088, 7 LZV663, 8 SGN081, 8 WHA862, City of Upland 1603322, 7 MYN032, I think I read that one already too. 8 GGX731, 5 LEN127, 6 YZM741, DOXE4ME. And this is City of Upland vehicle number 26026. Okay, 6WXW329, 8GXU614, 6YOW386, 7HCD273, 8RTM084, 8NNK, 8NNK656, 6TBM859, sitting in the parking lot the whole time, 8RNG953, MUSKRT crossing path with them, 6GZD659, 7A BG276, 5FZH139. That's the creation of audible activity as I cross the path. That's demonic, which you're hearing. They do it with simultaneity to what I'm doing. They're focused on me as they create noise, and understand they do the same thing inside of the venue of the library, for example. They are focused on me creating noise all day long. That's a psychopath. 8MZU770, 6W53622. License plate 37732Z1. 6RBJ883, 8RFF212, 8WEL808. City, this is Development Services Engineering. This is City of Upland, license 1271770, 7HDL456, 66635N2, 4HBD328, 8MKX994, 6VKY706. All right, stalking in the state facilitating venue in the parking lot, 8MTZ416, where federal stalking is underway, and you are under that same demonic condition. 7XPB038 is a demon-possessed stalker and is engaging in federal stalking, parked in front of the state facilitating venue of the Upland Fire Department. 8KEA100, 75776R1. It is 9:58 a.m. Yeah. And that's the state flying over my head. At what is 442, what street is this? 442 2nd Avenue. Yeah, 433 2nd Avenue. In between Arrow Highway and D Street on 2nd Avenue. 6BXV528. 6YZN171. 8RWU783. All right, pacing in front of me in a vehicle and then driving past in another vehicle, 7UFY375. Another vehicle, this is pacing as a group, 7HJY203, 8HDE386, 7ZUW736, 7YWE935, 7UFL184, that is 8YJZ515, and this is V12TUBO, 7YMM909, 8TTJ758, 7MPL941, 7MDA114, 7XTP565, 8VJE387. This is at 2nd Avenue and D Street. 6KCH335, 7YMM, oh yeah, I read that one. 8LOL764. Outside of Shoe Company at 177 D Street, I believe. or 177 2nd Avenue. It's at the intersection of the noblest motive is the public good, okay? And I'm revealing the heights of hypocrisy by a government and by a people. That's what their company says. They're monitoring. SHU is a facilitating venue, and they're also monitoring using their company vehicles. 8 LOL 764. They're not doing anyone good. They're going to be prosecuted as the criminals that they are. This is public corruptionomics. So it's a 7NMC 505, group stalker, pursuant to the pattern of conduct, suddenly is getting in their car, driving off. Will drive off, but arrives at their vehicle, 7BOB 280. It's the same stalking with activity. They maintain a chorus. I've referred to this as a soundtrack. 6AWS130, pacing with 7ZQR 651, 8GVE 537, 8FPC 277, MULAYQT 8CDW 190, 4FLX 069, 8UCP 570, 8A 87876, 86422Y2, 7VBA 941 50269B3. And this is the same parking lot of the Molly Super where the fake sun was right over me. You saw them using a tool. It was like sounding like a screwdriver or whatever. It was audible activity. And you saw what was directed light on the ground around that vehicle and how I had double shadows. They were in directed light creating noise. These are demons that are doing the same thing while I am documenting the demons that are pacing around using vehicles stalking with light. This is entirely demonic activity. That's a demon you're hearing making noise over here. Okay? It's demonic what I'm revealing. License 7PGL491, a demon. Pacing on 2nd Avenue, driving in opposite directions. They're pacing. These are demons, okay? These are demons feeding their face at the Molly Super. It's called being in relevant position, maintaining presence. 8LDV107. You can eat whatever you want in relevant position. 8UBR815. Molly Super is also facilitating venue where the fake sun is over that location, which I drew that contrast while you're looking at 8:37 a.m., but yet the state's fake sun is over my head at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts at 8:37 a.m., while the Ontario Police Department are documented engaging in terrorism in concert with the people of the state. 6ZZH507, there is no form. 5GGY 885. These are obsessed demons. They're engaging in stalking together, and it's obsessive conduct. 43144D3, FedEx again, pacing again, and another vehicle, another FedEx vehicle. UPS is at the opposite end. All right, it is currently 10:03 a.m. and I want to give you the license plate of FedEx. Stops in the middle of the street at this is D Street. Peculiarized light. The same location where the state keeps its fake sun. All right, this is Cintas, this is FedEx, this is City of Upland. This is the people of the state as I'm documenting them as well. This is called stalking with light. And this is terrorism underway by FedEx, who is going out of its way to engage in the pattern of conduct, delivering a package to what is 151. Shoe companies at 177. This is FedEx with license plate 44724C3. FedEx and any other mail courier thinking that they can hop out and just deliver mail and that's going to be the form or any legally relevant claim for being present in relevant position, stalking with peculiarized light, engaging in terrorism and sexual violence. That is U.S.86876. This is Satan. That has zero form. And I just want to be clear what FedEx is revealing, as well as, everyone else, but FedEx is going out of its way to reveal that it is run by Satan. This is terrorism, 02MJB. And understand also, this is what the state does, for example, when it wants me to focus less on individual group stalkers like 7ZUW736 and focus more on them. This is what the United States Postal Service does. This is what the state does with helicopter activity, for example. All of that incriminates the people that I continue to document. All right, the state is providing the context. That's the basis of documenting. 8SHV130 is monitoring and engaging in terrorism with FedEx, who enters inside of shoe companies at 177 2nd Avenue, 177 D Street, and is on surmise cameras inside of that venue, engaging in what is federal stalking, and shoe companies is a facilitating venue in that regard as well. Okay, it is currently 10:05 a.m. And I want to show you what is the absence of any form. Vehicle number 118561. All right, this is revealing what is terrorism as it is practiced amongst the people. Monitoring to that, 7PGL491. So you see the harm that FedEx presents as it engages in what is terrorism. This is called stalking with peculiarized light, and FedEx driving in what is the 8th vehicle this morning in relevant position. While the demon-possessed are aware that you're documenting them, that's facilitation as 7JRV088 crosses path and is monitoring to this form of peculiarized light. While Molly Super is also stalking with noise while I'm in that parking lot, this is the same venue where the state has this fake sun over my head, and I had double shadows on that sidewalk where they were using what was a tool. FedEx is engaging in form, delivering a package to shoe companies at 177 D Street. There is no form, and this is the multiple vehicles that FedEx has used today to engage in what is terrorism. This is demonic activity as it is exhibited by a brand, because that's what FedEx represents. This is terrorism. I'm going to prosecute them. They're sex offenders, and they're engaging in federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. 2261A. This is demon possession. As you are operating a company vehicle, it's the same exact pattern of conduct. Delivering to shoe companies, which is a facilitating venue, is no form. That's audible activity in peculiarized light in relevant position. That's Molly Super. That's P.O.C. All right, I did document that video, and I'm showing you what is the facilitating venue and delivering mail to any location is no form. Like I said, you can deliver a baby on the sidewalk under the fake sun, and you're engaging in activity creation, relevant positioning. There's nothing that's superseding the pattern of conduct. You are also witnessing what is the harm, for example, that these companies present while they're engaging in the state's pattern of conduct. And you're also looking at the malice of the people as they are mistakenly under the assumption that they will get away with engaging in terrorism because they have a company name on their chest or on their vehicle. It's called criminal facilitation. You're going to prosecute, you're going to drain the pockets, and you're going to prosecute criminally. All right? License 8FXC206. Molly Super providing audible activity. They are creating light activity. FedEx is creating light activity. FedEx is engaging in the trademark of stalking with peculiarized light. That's a terrorizing act. All right, the state does this with parking lot lights. Third-party facilitating venues use their building lights. The homes of the lights on their homes, they use their vehicle lights. The state does this with street lamps as I'm walking down the street, stalking with light. 7VRX995, peculiarized light. All right, that is flashing light, turning light on and off, 8DTH756. It's entirely demonic. It's terrorizing while you do that. And that's a documentation of a company engaging in that. That's the same thing, understand, that the United States Postal Service engages in. And they think because they're getting out wearing that uniform, that it's different, and it's not. It is not. All right, the 9th FedEx vehicle pacing back in relevant position, driving on what is C Street right now. It is license 6CSB130, P.O.C. 7UJY277, stalking with light at the opposite end of the street using their brake lights. That is the same method of stalking with light activity. 8MBV257, still operating their communication devices, maintaining presence at the corner. And the minions in both their private vehicles and their company vehicles are engaging in ongoing patrolling presence and light activity. He's sitting at the corner, he's manning the path, and he's engaged in ongoing operation of the communication device. It is currently 10:09 a.m. and I want to make sure I got these license plates. I think I did. Yeah, I got those already. 8VPS589. That is P.O.C. This is audible activity. While you have UPS, FedEx, the city of Upland, stalking with light, peculiarized light, this is audible activity. And engaging in what is federal stalking, this is demonic conduct, using the Upland Veterans Plaza as the form for stalking in the past, because that's all that they're doing. There is zero form. That's sad too, using the names of those that died, and then using that as the form for engaging the P.O.C, because that's all that's underway. This is the same one where the state puts its fake sun over that Upland Veterans Plaza. It's P.O.C. 10:09 a.m.
All right, 11 a.m. on the dot, I am seen exiting what is the study room number 1. And as I go toward the restroom, African-American male wearing a cap on his head. They're maintaining presence. There's one that's seated behind the staircase in operation of the communication device. They're sitting at the computers. She's working at the desk. They're all in relevant position, but I want to speak to what's going on surveillance cameras and what is bathroom monitoring. The African-American male enters the restroom. As I'm entering the restroom, this is stalking. in the path. And this is also what is demon possession while they're engaging in federal stalking. This is sexual violence, that is, while they are stalking in relevant position using the men's restroom to get in the path, to monitor with communication devices, and also the employees of the Open Public Library as well. They are patrolling, entering and exiting, and also using the doors as audible activity as I'm walking around. And I just want to document that. And I also referenced the surveillance cameras as I walked to the restroom. He literally walks inside. That is stalking, and this is what you're understanding what the demons are doing while they are engaging in what is literal stalking everywhere that I go, and they're doing it as a group. It's 11:01 a.m. That's P.O.C. This is sexual violence at the Open Public Library. All right, 11:03 a.m. and I want to document what is the creation of audible activity inside of the bathroom. And this is that which is sounding as though the elevator is amplified in sound inside of the restroom. And understand the predatory conduct of the African-American male who enters the restroom to engage in federal stalking while the state surrounds me with noise inside of the bathroom. You cannot hear the elevator inside of the restroom. This is the same entity. Understand this is what the state does inside of the car that I'm sleeping in. This is what the state does outside with amplification of all activity. This is what the state is doing inside of the private space. This is that sexual violence by that predator. Okay, it is 11:03 a.m. P.O.C. All right, I want to document a demon-possessed stalker entering inside of the restroom and crossing path. That's engaging in relevant positioning while ongoing activity is created while I'm inside of the private space. Entering inside while the toilet, and let me let you hear this first of all. This is the creation of audible activity, okay? In doing so, while you enter the restroom, the toilet makes a loud horn sound. That sound right there, which this toilet didn't do right now, but every single time that I flush it, that's the sound that you just heard. That's called audible activity, and it's a means of amplifying it. So while a demon-possessed stalker enters the presence of the target individual, literally is engage in monitoring while your genitalia is exposed, while you're engaging in that private activity, which the demon-possessed all know that you're doing so in that environment that the state is maintaining, while the state creates such artificial noise, which, by the way, the state amplifies outside of the doors of the bathroom. So that same toilet flush, the state turns up the volume of that artificial noise for purposes of monitoring inside and outside while the demon-possessed surround in relevant position. This is sexual violence. That's Upland Public Library engaging in federal stalking, monitoring in the private space. This is another method of sexual violence by that state facilitating venue. It's 11:07 a.m. This is federal stalking in the bathroom. This is audible activity, and the state is also amplifying the sound of the elevator, which you cannot hear inside of the bathroom. These demon-possessed stalkers are standing in the path while the state is amplifying the sound of an elevator. This is an aged female. Let me show you right now. I took images of what is stalking in the path outside while the state is creating the sound of an elevator inside, and the talking voices. That's called audible activity, and doing so with minor children. This is sexual violence and using children to do so. Beating on the door with your Mennonite child is audible activity creation. It is currently 11:09 a.m. and you're seeing how the demon-possessed engage in satanic monitoring that is sexually violent. It is P.O.C. and that's what you're going to prosecute for. All right, there is no guise under which audible activity is created where it's anything other than that predatory sexual violence. This is P.O.C. And understand children are under that same demon possession. You're listening to what's audible activity in the private space, and this sex offender intentionally enters to engage in that, and more so, again, as I documented. So you have more demons that enter, and I capture what are the images of stalking in the path by the African American and the female. They're monitoring outside of the bathroom. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, I took images of what is stalking in the path. The library employee, she's crossing path with simultaneity to my exit. That's what I'm taking a picture of. She's the one with the license plate that starts with 6VAH. She drives a black vehicle. I also captured her standing outside of her trunk with the line of directed light beside her vehicle in the parking lot. She's engaging in federal stalking outside, terrorism. She's engaging in federal stalking right now in a private space. She's a sex offender, knowing what I'm doing in the bathroom as well, okay? That's how you have that simultaneity of conduct. I took an image of what is a group stalker, demon-possessed, doing so with a minor child, enters the private space with knowledge knowledge of what I'm doing while the state is amplifying that which you cannot hear inside of the bathroom, which is the sound of an elevator, creating noise through the use of the toilet, all right, which the state turns on and off, because every time I flush the toilet, that loud horn sound was occurring. As I try to document it right now on the podcast, it stops, and then you hear it with the other third party as she flushes the toilet. It's called audible activity. Whether the horn sound is occurring or not, I want to be clear, the state is adding on activity, amplifies it outside of the bathroom doors first, second of all, and third of all, they begin patrolling inside of the bathroom more so as I document sexual violence. And I took images of what is group stalking, including minor children. This is the demon possessed acting together, but I also want to be clear, this is including them while you are engaging in sexually violent conduct. This is sexual violation by Upland Public Library, a state facilitating venue. It's 11:11 a.m. and that was the same elements of monitoring inside of the private space. That's P.O.C. At 4:32 p.m. capturing fake son. This is activity creation as a sex offender is loitering in the bathroom. You're also going to want to pay attention to not only is this not the sun that's over the venue, that what logically follows is that's not sunlight that filled the venue. However, what you have is a state maintaining its fake sun over D Street in the absence of that directed light filling the venue as I have documented, all right? And you have the same sex offender that is stalking in the path in the presence of that directed light. I'm just pointing out all of what is speaking to the predatory that are the people of the state. Okay, it's 4:36 p.m. and that was a stalker that was already in relevant position. This is exactly what they did at 150 East Holt Boulevard. There is no call of nature whereby the demon possessor, this is not what is ongoing. You need to understand that these are predators and they are stalking everywhere in relevant position in that deliberate environment. Okay, so you have what is maintenance of presence in the private space under the fake sun and in directed light. That is a sex offender. Okay, whether you want to bring in your little minion child to create activity with you or not, that's just going toward the increasing of those that federal charge for being that violent sex offender representing the government in the bathroom. Okay, it's 4:36 p.m. and capturing the state's fake sun, not over Fontana Lewis Library, but it's over Upland Public Library, which is speaking to the sex offender that's maintaining relevant position inside of the private space. That's P.O.C. All right, I did capture on video what is the sex offender following inside. Remember, they are one. So you have one demonic actor enters the bathroom, is literally stalking in the bathroom. When you're breaking down what is the system, and then as they engage in that system and you're understanding what they are literally doing, what the entity is doing, what the state is doing, the state is present vicariously in the bathroom. The demon possessed that are listening very closely to everything that is going on with your anatomy knows when and how and what hands you're using to pull down your panties, knows when you're wiping your genitalia, and is stalking with noise to that ongoing knowledge, okay? And then is stalking in that restroom. You have what is stalking with helicopter and plane activity with pursuant to that knowledge, that personal, that's supposed to be private, and it's not. And that's speaking to the predator that's engaging in that conduct. Every single actor inside of this venue is monitoring to that activity that stalker is creating inside of the bathroom. In addition to understand, while I'm in the restroom and the state is amplifying everything that I am doing, they're monitoring to that. Okay, it's not enough. They enter in and stalk in the bathroom. That's what you are doing. Whether they are actually using the bathroom, this is what I mean. When you're using the bathroom, you're creating activity. The pattern of conduct is underway and there is absolutely no form. And by the way, when you are stalking with a fake sun and filling a venue with directed light, that which is not sunlight, and this is already established, when you are stalking in helicopters, when you're stalking, understand the state is listening to me breathe at night. Any subtle move I make, a helicopter surfaces, flying in circles over my head, over wherever I'm at. That is how intensely they are stalking. There is no form. And that represents that predator that's entering inside of that space. So yes, I did get more footage of the same demonic entity, the same public entity that wants to follow and stalk inside of a bathroom. This is understanding the sexual violence of federal stalking amongst the demon possessed, who, by the way, as what I'm revealing also, these are sex offenders that you don't even know surround you, okay? Demon possession is the ability to know what you're doing inside of the bathroom. This is how the state is engaging and stalking with activity with simultaneity to what you're doing. So as you spread your legs open using the bathroom, they're stalking with activity if you do so in a manner that's not expected. Okay, that's the sex offender that wants to stalk inside of the restroom. That is documentation of that, and understand that this is just one venue because they're doing that all over the place. All right, license 7KKY233, 7CJP013, 6VAH356, 8KJX490. It is 5:57 p.m. and that's captured on video. But like I said,
where you're establishing the pattern of conduct, this is showing what is the sex offender. The state is a sex offender. And guess what? As FedEx, as Cintas, all of these commercial actors, they are one. I'm going to prosecute them as sex offenders, 5ZVV121. That's exactly what they are. They are helping the government that is a sex offender. They are stalking in the path with light so that you can be monitored while your panties are down. You're not even holding a communication device. All right, this is demonic conduct at its core. All right, this is a psychopath that has issues and needs to be restrained, okay? The predators. License 8FMB152, 8COD821. All right, and that's what I capture on video, is that sex offender is maintaining what is relevant position inside of the private space, which is a restroom. In doing so, on behalf of the public entity that is ceaselessly monitoring, that placed its fake son over D Street. All right, that's a psychopath that does not care how much you are documenting, and the fact that you know that that's not the son. 8VRC937, that's the idiot. Okay, that's just plain obsessive stalking. Okay, and does not care that you're documenting it. That's a very violent, a very real, sharp threat to your life. Okay, while the government, aside from the fact that the identity of the state actor, the government itself is a threat to your life. But then you're looking at what is the conduct, the desperate conduct that the state engages in. And as you document it, and they're monitoring your documentation, and they continue to engage in stalking you and monitoring you in that private space, and exposing you to that ongoing violence. It's the same thing. It's no less of a violation as the state is touching your body with that which is not naturally occurring light. That's not sunlight. That's the state touching my body with that which it has engineered. You're a sex offender in that regard as well. And everybody that's stalking in the path with that psychopath is a sex offender. 4HBD328 is a sex offender. 6GZC649 is a sex offender, a demon-possessed stalker. 7177QEF is a sex offender. These demon-possessed stalkers, all of them are sex offenders. 7KAN543, BJOLLIE. That's the reality of what Cintas, FedEx, Amazon Prime, Walmart, third-party facilitating venue. You can go down the list. This is the significance of documentation. And then you are understanding what is the conduct, the totality of the conduct that they're engaging in. And you're going to prosecute indiscriminately for it. You want to engage in the conduct with that government, you're going to be prosecuted with that government. And I know you don't want any parts of that. But you deserve it as a matter of justice. You're going to get that. 6WSB 531 monitoring. And I want to get the back license plate. That's the same African American. These are the demons that are inside monitoring to that demon-possessed stalker that enters the bathroom, stalking in the bathroom. And they are monitoring with communication devices all in relevant position. That is 8SSS454. All right. And they all together get all in their cars. And that creates a substantial light activity. It is currently 6 p.m. on the dot. And that is P.O.C. documentation and video documentation of what is sexual violence. And understand the image of that third party, she's merely representing the entity. And when you're understanding the essence of demonic activity, she's representing a demonic entity and the public entity that's engaging in a satanic monitoring system. 6GZC649. Patrolling back around again. And the other thing I want to point out, the Upland Public Library is a state facilitating venue. So this is the prosecution of a municipality for engaging in what is sexually violent conduct in concert and on behalf of the public entity, the state of California, that's operating this monitoring system. That's what my documentation is establishing and laying out. 5 U.S. N635, 7 WNA 390. 8ZNB168, that's a Washington plate. RKNROAD. That's Metrolink. 6WXW211. 8NTY425. 8WHM654. 8UYM982. 8NKM846. I already documented that one. 8PKX366. I think I got this one already. 5 USN 635. Stalking in the parking lot of Dance Dynamics. As they're driving in and out, sitting around with their brake lights on, they're stalking with light. Metrolink sounding its train while they're stalking in the path with light. Okay, 7DVY 783 and 7MPF 133, 8GWB 712. And understand how Metrolink is present and facilitating this violence, and also Metrolink is a sex offender. Not only have they been subject to the same sexual violence on the Metrolink train, Metrolink is not separate from that pattern of conduct that I remain subject to. Metrolink is going down as a sex offender as well, okay? That's the reality of that ongoing criminal act that is sexually violent as well. Not only that, while the state molests my body with that which is unnaturally occurring, Metrolink providing a soundtrack, you're a sex offender. It is 7KAN 543. Eight PKX 366. I believe I read that one already. 8ECH 693. 7JLJ 494. 8AZZ 985. Paper AX 84KO2. 7KJK 945. 8EEC 869. JD Allison's Bar and Grill, where I captured CENSATIONAL this morning. CENSATIONAL engaging, just pushing a basket over there to the bar and grill, where it was stalking in the path, creating peculiarized light, in concert with Upland, City of Upland. 8 MEB 418. 8 WJZ 809. That's where I'm at right now on C Street and 2nd Avenue. 8VQW 889, and waiting right here, just creeping on the street. No, I wasn't even over here. He already knew I was coming. He's just creeping and waiting. That's a stalker. 8ZN 8168. 8DOE 809. Okay? Serious stalkers that I'm documenting. What compels them? Satan himself. It's demonic. 6ZSE 151. FAVRDHD. Rock and Road follows over here. U.S.C. FVRE. So Big Head Demon they're all stalking in the path. U.S.C. FVRE. There's a red Toyota Camry. Monitoring. 7VVC 017. 7GRG 896. 7LXV 258. WUAT MLA. 8AKJ 817. Let's say. The state actor, the female who identified herself as the director at Upland Public Library, continues to park very far away from the Upland Public Library parking lot, and she disappears. The state is sounding plane engines, so this is why you recite license plates, okay? And she is hiding. And I say hiding because these demons know that they're being documented, and she's parking very far away from the Upland Public Library, unless she's going to her second job that works over here somewhere. The state is flying plane engines over me nonetheless, and this is why I'm walking over here, and they are maintaining presence while they're doing that. 8 VMK 350 has no form while the state is sounding plane engines over my head, okay? 53515 handicap, 8 RTF 501, 7 DSC 221. All right, that was an endeavor to get the heavy-set blonde who identified herself as a director at Upland Public Library, who parks very far away from where she works. 8LXL 533, 8MVJ 494. Which is not a coincidence where you're engaging in federal stalking and you're a demon-possessed stalker who engages in monitoring, and you have knowledge that I am documenting in this manner. The rest of the minions park in the parking lot, and this one doesn't. And this is the one who states, as I documented on my podcast, that she is indeed calling the police and having no grounds to do so, engaging in what is the pattern of criminal summoning by the entity. License plate 8SDB736. 8HGE439. 8PWY058. This is just demon after demon after demon, okay? Light activity and relevant positioning. 7MFF586. 8N46459. All right, stalking in the parking lot over here. I'm gonna get this one sitting in the space with their light. 61189X1 7V50888 77608K1 6BPR. Hold on. Let me get this one. 6BPR990. And this one's stalking in the parking lot. This is 7PBE428. Stalking in the parking lot. This is 8HZD314, 8AKJ012, 8WHM135, 5Z22802, 7WIN090, 4KIT101, 8RSR835, 628ZL, that's handicap, 6TOD578, plane engine sounding. That audible activity just prosecutes all of them right there alone. That's P.O.C. It's 6:08 p.m. This is the state that's present through all these demons that are supplying light and are maintaining presence in the path, while these demons are collectively engaging in what is federal stalking. The state is vicariously present through all of these demons, and I'm just reading one demon's license plate after another. What else am I doing? I'm identifying the government with one license plate after another, because they're vicariously acting on behalf of the public entity that's stalking in airplanes and helicopters. 4LOA 955 8HHS. Excuse me, 596. 7PB, oh, I think I read that one already. 7UXA 995. 5NPF 911. 8MQM 378. BS08X38. That's a white Santa Fe. Hyundai. 6WJT003. LVMYCZR 67769E2. It's great as that alleged director of Upland Public Library engages in hiding. I get much more documentation of these demons. They're one entity. One. Okay. It is no less of the lawsuit against the municipality, 8PLY480, because I don't have that particular actor's license plate, who likes to park far away from her, from where she works, because she knows I'm gonna get that license plate. BS50U47, 8XAG428. It's 6:10 p.m. CSI Electrical Contractors, license 1055811. License plate BJ66P19. That's a commercial vehicle engaging in federal stalking. And that's a paper plate, no front plate on that commercial vehicle. 8SDZ268. Seven RUC 013. That's audible activity as a minion crosses path on a bike. Demonic. Okay. 7XRA 375. 8PYM 002. 7UNY 033. 7SQS 607. I think I already got theirs. 7V50. Yeah, I got that one already. BSJZ 626. 7LQM 788, I believe. 8SWA 643. 8TPA 341. 8BBU 893. 8UAY 897. 8461982. I read that one already. CZA 774 PLATAMK. This is 96494Z2. HJC 178. Again, this is Old Town Historic District. This is terrorism that's ongoing. This federal stalking that's ongoing right now, what I'm documenting inside of the Historic District of Upland. License 8SJZ626, crossing path again. 6TLE519. 8F93220. 8SWW828. 6704 OB3. OPANANI. 8F93220. 6TLC848. CRM1296 08762F2. 6FKH974. 8TRL105. All right, this restaurant here at the this is Old Town Historic District at Allegro. They're monitoring this entire. This is relevant positioning. They are all in relevant position. This entire little venue right here is monitoring. Okay, and it spans beyond this, but this is where I'm standing, and I'm documenting those that are merely driving by. Understand they're inside of their stores and inside of the restaurants, and they're all monitoring. This is terrorism, as I'm showing how the state of California engages in it. And what am I looking at? Stardust Alley at 204. Photography. Scavengers Treasures, 205 North 2nd Avenue, Suite 100, NACA, if that's even occupied. But I just want to read where I'm at. This is monitoring. They're all monitoring. 8ATD222, 8FLE151, 4XUV490. License plates, BU61L36 and 8NKE597. I don't see no license. Oh, it's on the side. Let's see. License 7HPK058, 8BRE583, 6K63246, 17773B2. And touching 7B39566, touching with that one, touching with this one, 6MNJ579. They're all touching together. That's how that works. Okay, and they're all sex offenders because I've already documented heavy sexual violence. I'm just showing you how that ongoing criminal act they're engaging in together. They're going down together. Patty cake of sex offenders. U.S.C. FVRE, crossing path again. 7YXE420. That's Plain Engines, Y7YXE420, stalks in the path. Plain Engines, Y8MSC881, stalks in the path. Plain Engines, Y417190T2 is stalking in the path. Stalking in the path, 8BHX897, with the state that's sounding Plain Engines. This is terrorism, as they're all monitoring to that. 7GOG864. And this is demon possession that I'm revealing. One demon after another. You need to know their condition. The reality is that they're demon possessed while they're stalking somebody that knows it. And I'm going to tell that. 6FNV343, license 8HZD669. $7X55846. $8PAX273. 8HBN328, 7JUV267, 5XPW040. Get such heavy activity everywhere I go. 11528J1, 6Y64804, 8DWN774, 1773B2, the toucher, he's coming, he's cross path again. 6DFZ828, 6WLB861, 8WJR122. It is 6:18 p.m. Henry's Plumbing Services, 44913W1, using that commercial vehicle to engage in terrorism and federal stalking. Let's see. This is some wannabe gangster with a skull on the outside of their car. You're a stalker. License plate 8RBZ387. Ain't nothing gangster about being a stalker. You are an absolute loser. 7FBJ819. License plate 6:19 p.m. 8BCU807. 7ACB662. 8LZE967. 8PBZ722. That's called amplification. You're hearing traffic coming from where? While their demons are crossing path with their headlights. This is light activity, relevant positioning, audible activity. This is P.O.C. 8SNA378, 7TSJ447, 8BVZ533. MZMTNEZ, excuse me. MZMTNEZ. License plate 8LZR344. 4VNT816, 8SEC521, 7ASC849. That's Metrolink, monitoring with them. 4FWZ789. 21Y5157. That's that absence of a gangster. He's a stalker and a demon-possessed stalker on a motorcycle. Just a loud motorcycle. It's called audible activity. He's a loser. 8DWN774. 7ZPK761. It's the same for Metrolink. I'm going to embarrass that company name. I'm going to show it to be exactly what it is. Psychopath. You want to hear how that train sounds? Ordinarily, the trains don't sound like that. Ordinarily, the trains don't sound like that. They'll blow a horn a couple times, but where you're monitoring and where you're hostile because you're a demonic actor and you know that I'm documenting you, they engage in exaggeration. 7JFL394. That's what you also have when you're hearing the train inside of the homes up at West G Street. 7ZSM170. 6SSD706. And that's Metrolink engaging in facilitation, demonic activity with all of these. 7CKW781. 9232 8R2. That's why Metrolink is engaging in that exaggeration with the sound of a train, which is also amplified. All right, amplifying that sound of that Metrolink train inside of the Upland Public Library. License 5MNJ664. License FNLYGKG, excuse me. GKG, yeah. PONCEFM 7UKP729. 7GVJ843. They're all in directed light. License 7XEX298. 6MYH898. 8 CSG407, 8 SLF161, 2767 OK2, 61506T2. And it is 6:23 p.m. So all you have are demons just changing their route to drive over here and engage in maintenance of presence. That's why you have this heavy traffic in the Old Town Historic District, okay? Where I go, activity follows, and you have what is the buildup of activity using their vehicles to maintain presence. This is what they're doing. 8TFW 492, and that's why there's such heavy presence. 8CBD 655. License plate 8MWS 239, 7GVJ 843, and minions are crossing path on foot as well, monitoring to that audible activity. 19379 F2. All right, they're demons that are pacing. One walks left, the other walks right. That's pacing. As the demons are let me be clear. The demonic entity is acting through more than one. So you have the demons that walk to the left and to the right. They're pacing together. Okay, and it's the same thing. What you're looking at as they're driving in traffic, they're pacing together. It's a demonic entity. It's the same thing that the state is doing in airplanes, pacing. Okay, stalking in the parking lot, monitoring while the demons are patrolling around me, maintaining presence in alignment. 8MVJ 494, and this one stalking in the parking lot with their headlights on is the PONCEFM. Okay, cross path and then parks, sitting, using their headlights as light activity. 7DSC 221, 8FLE 151, APEK 696, 8RTF 501, 7YLR 616. SKSINGH 06376E2. All right, stalking with light in the parking lot as well is 7ZPK 761. All right, so when it comes to relevant positioning, understand it. You can engage in relevant positioning by crossing path, by being stationary, which is to be in alignment, or by patrolling, which the demons are doing in the aggregate. While you have what are the people of the state that are maintaining presence, they're patrolling as one. You can have a single demon, though, which is the only one that you're looking at in front of you because they're representing the entity. They're not acting by themselves, but 8SIB 734. But you can have one person that you're documenting engaging in walking back and forth or flying back and forth or driving back and forth. That's called repeatedly crossing path. Or crossing path more than once, it's called patrolling, which the entire entity is doing in the aggregate. 8SUM 519. That's what this is I'm documenting. This is patrolling. It's the same entity maintaining presence. They're stalking. This is what group stalking is, and it's demonic. 27319V1, 5ZSW, 5ZSM333. 596VCY, a Wisconsin license plate on that black Equinox LT. 8MJV176. 8POA 441. And it is currently 6:26 p.m. Let me not neglect this corner over here. 8M47243. 8MTP013. UNINSRD 7LUU028. More plane engines flying over just like the state does over the car, just like the state does over the museum. This is what they're doing now, and these are demons that I see up close, and I can identify them by license plate. 5SHC825, 7DSR179, 5MBX503, 37596L2. And I read that one already. Alrighty. It is currently 6:27 p.m. 5JAM931, 8K31246, 8RAE181, 8LZ. I can't really see the rest of that one. 8RAE181. I read that one already. And this one over here, 7EOR453. 8PVC 445, 8PVG445, 41083X2, 5WPT909, 8NOX377, and also there's an Upland police station right over here. I just want to make sure I identify that. That's relevant position 17854Z1. I read that one already. 7KCG371. Yeah. 8JXV020. GREYHD. 6TLK264. 8XAG428. 7UDD276, JNS, JEEP, directed light, audible activity, that's P.O.C. 7VJD670. 151UD, handicap. 7TTB, 522, 7RGE487. I don't think that, let me see. It's 6:29 p.m. License plate, let me get this. 5BEC257, 7PLT789. It's so hilarious how they try to accelerate and avoid me reading their license plate. It's so pathetic. 8JYP406 is cross basket, but then again, so is being a stalker. 7PGS250. So is parking far away from where you work, because you know I'm going to get your license plate. 7NZL111, 7KXL044, NDY04. I can't really see that one, and that's the Texas plate, but I can't really see the whole plate. 8WDR425, 7KXL044, 7FVC227, 8UFH040, 8PUX738, 56378B3. All right, and like I stated again, they're monitoring, meaning these are just the demons that are driving by me. They're creating ongoing light activity while minions are surrounding the perimeter. The state is surrounding the perimeter. The state is flying above, amplified plane engines, monitoring to that. Okay, triple A, yeah, that's triple A. 58657T2, 5865. Hold on, 58657T2, 8EOE162, 6TGM183. 6RRA385, 5RBG917, 8GDN516. See, at the Grove, let me get this license plate. 6NHB161, 5RBG917. B699, that's handicap. 8TJK752, 8BUZ919, 8WJR012, 5TRR517, 7VXR299, 06453B2, 8PIX590, 8TFE521, 7WGJ265. And stalking in the path, 8UDM872. Engaging in the ominous stalking conduct, stopping in relevant position on the side of the road with their lights on. They're monitoring with communication device, and they're stalking in the path. All right, they're maintaining presence around the perimeter. I want to get this license plate over here. She's driving 7LPY282. 8REY207, 8SKH531, 8TJK. Oh, I read that one already. So I want to be clear, like I said, surveillance cameras, and I'm I focus mostly on my documentation, but I have stated that surveillance cameras are, and they are, substantial documentation in addition to what I document. 8UVX 401. And in that regard, venues, they're documenting themselves, and there is the absence of any form. Yes, you are at work. Yes, you do live there. That's proof of presence. The state is monitoring, and the state is doing it through you. Claim ignorance, claim it's legally irrelevant. And you're talking also about the absence of credibility by the demon possessed. And I've also given that documentation showing the context of what you're dealing with. And so surveillance cameras are present at the Metrolink train station. I want to document that. They're stalking in the parking lot, doing the same thing. This is a perimeter for monitoring. Remember, maintaining activity all around. While the demons, I'm documenting their license plates, they're driving all around me. They're maintaining light. It is an expansive demonic system in operation. 8WKF687. And in relevant positions, this is why I speak to where I'm at, because it's providing what is ongoing context to everything that is occurring within that radius, okay? 8GRF079. And the same thing with Metrolink, the ongoing documentation of what is the use of the train as audible activity by Metrolink. And you have what are cameras on the Metrolink train, you have what are cameras at the train station. And that is... that's very crucial documentation, 7WYD183, not to be forgotten. It's certainly not forgotten by me. I just want to publish it on the internet. This is the totality of that, confronting that entity that's engaging in all the ways in which it engages in concerted activity with the people. $8NRX 253. Yeah, 8NRY 353, excuse me. License plates 62158R2 7BSD 299. And understand how this is the entity. In the same way that I identify FedEx, for example, following from place to place, this is one entity following me from place to place. This is that demonic entity as well, following from place to place. Okay, that's the reality of what they're doing. 8MWL725. $8FFA 827 79595T2. It is 6:35 p.m. What you call me for? It's only 6:35. All right, it is 6:37 p.m. 7X 53150. License 7WYC 448. Seven RND 563. 8UO. I can't really see the rest of that one. 7HTA 233. 8MHH 934. And these minions are patrolling at 3rd. 8XZW521 and 8TMX 318, excuse me. 8TMX 318. It's 6:38 p.m. at 3rd and C Street. ANN 318. Seven NHN 662. This is 3rd, right? Yeah, this is 3rd. XJX041. Directed light is aimed on this vehicle as I look at the license plate, and there is nothing even coming in that direction with light. That's the state that is aiming light into the atmosphere, okay? That's directed light. And they're driving in directed light. That's always present. I'm just letting you know. I'm reading license plates of the minions that are in the environment, but I'm just letting you know what's going on. Light disappearing in the atmosphere. Audible activity while an underage minion crosses paths. 4HAN133 is monitoring with an underage. That's delinquency. You don't have to be related. 8RQF362, that's documentation of someone under 18 operating a communication device, monitoring in directed light, while that minion whose license plate I just read is monitoring with them. That's how you're prosecuting that particular actor. But that's the government that's monitoring with underage, which you don't have to be over 18 to monitor with communication devices. These minions are very well apprised with how to use communication devices, and all they have to do is be present. It's this demonic system that they're engaging in. It's demonic, okay? So these little underage minions just stand around in relevant positions stalking and just playing music on their phone. They're monitoring. It's 6:40 p.m. It's 6:42 p.m. and train activity sounding for the past minute or so, and there's no train in motion at the Metrolink train station at A Street. There is no train on the tracks. And not only that, the train is heard up north from the train station. It's not coming from the direction of the train station. This is the state throwing around audible activity around me. It's just like plane engines over my head. And I just want to be clear, there's no train station, which would also be shown on the surveillance cameras of Metrolink. There's no train in motion. The state is stalking using the form of Metrolink train, because that's the Metrolink train station over there. All right, that's still going to be assigned to Metrolink. They're documented as of yesterday, every day actually that I'm up here, but documented directly yesterday, engaging in the P.O.C. So the state can use them as form. Understand when the state is using you as the guise of activity, it's speaking to your demon possession. You are engaging in that. It's not ignorantly so, okay? It is 6:43 p.m. That's P.O.C. 8FHG625, 7NOU312, 7EGA754. Directed light inside of the car while 8FHG625 crosses path. It's 6:45 p.m. 8DMJ473. And turn around onto the next corner, the next vehicle with their hazards on. This is literally from street to street to street, stalking with light. This is terrorism by the people. 8RFB188. The one with the hazard lights on, they're at the Woodside Senior Apartments entrance. This is license plate 8RQF416.
This Friday, the wait is finally over.
It's 6:54 p.m. All right, directed light in the car and touching my face while a demon-possessed stalker in the parking lot of 7-Eleven, 8NIV131. All right, and understand that they're at the driveway. We're already parked in the parking spot. They're behind the car. There's no way that their headlights would be touching my face. That's the state's directed light, and that stalker is monitoring with the state on the surveillance cameras at 7-Eleven. At 6:55 p.m. Excuse me. License 8CEE797, 5TQD756. This is at 636 North Vine at 7-Eleven. And the state is sounding plane engines over my head as I exit. It is currently 7 p.m. as well, and I did complete a purchase there. It is at the intersection of Vine and G Street. This is the same exact pattern of conduct in that particular venue is heavily documented. So there's no question about the P.O.C. As I've already established the P.O.C., but that particular venue, they're heavily documented. It's 7 p.m. Eight XES380 and let's see, 6WRL030, 4XDV968, BE38M27, indirected light 8XES380. The shadows of their cars are moving around, and the form is these headlights of 8LKT722, which is no form. She's stalking with light, and she's doing it with the state, and their vehicles are in directed light. 5SFM221, 6DRM254, 8EPV066, 7TIW123, 6TXU156, 6XIF896, 8ETP03. Oh, I think I read that one already. Did I? No, I did not. She's stalking in the path with lights on. This is demon possession, understand. That's what I'm revealing. These are demons that are stalking with light. You hear that car door? That demon-possessed stalker was just sitting in her car, using lights, stalking in the path. She's in directed light as well. 8 EIP 034, they're all doing the same thing. Okay, directed light reaching from Laurel onto the parking lot. This is P.O.C. It's 8 NVE 027, 7 YYL 408, 7AKN 222, 7AKN 222, yeah. While they're crossing paths, the state is flying over the parking lot and they're in directed light. License plate 7WLF 374. And I want to be clear, this group stalker is stalking in the parking lot, sitting in the car while the state's flying over. That's 6XIF 896, okay? This is monitoring at Rite Aid, monitoring at Giant Variety Store, monitoring at the Kids Empire, monitoring at the Pizza Hut. They're all monitoring inside of this plaza. That's the plane engines flying over. That's the state flying over. Notice how that's happening in Upland? That's happening here. I'm showing what is ongoing satanic stalking, all right? License, and this is terrorism. This is the people, and I'm documenting them, and they're going to be prosecuted for terrorism because that's exactly what they are while they're engaging in this satanic stalking conduct. 7 TOW 334 and 7YJK 465. These are demons that need to be restrained. Riding around in directed light is the on bikes. In directed light, okay? You accomplish the same thing. Light activity. It's 7:09 p.m. Okay, I want to document the same ongoing touching. It's 7:18 p.m. and so I'm in the vehicle, first of all, at 630 North Fern Avenue, and the people are engaging in relevant positioning. The pattern of conduct is ceaseless, okay? So I am documenting what is that ongoing pattern of conduct, which is inherently sexually violent, and it is occurring from venue to venue. I am in the vehicle, and for example, what I heavily documented Omnitrans for, repeated molestation with that which is directed light. The state is molesting with directed light while the people are crossing path using their vehicles, and they do so pursuant to demonic knowledge. These are demons that are crossing path, monitoring with the state that is practicing this satanic system, okay? They're monitoring, and they know what I'm doing on my phone, and they also know what I'm doing physically. And then they are touching while they cross path. That is the state that is touching me with light and filling the vehicle, moving light all around. This is an act of terrorism while the state is engaging in sexual violence as it touches me with that which is not headlights, not moonlight. This is no reflection of light. It's the same exact directed light. And you're taking that ongoing template, that pattern of conduct, and you're seeing how it is prosecuted and every way in which the state is engaging in that. For touching, for engaging in this terrorism with the people of the state, and all the ways in which they're engaging in those acts of terrorism at 7:19 p.m. And this is just to catalog ongoing touching, which I remain subject to. The sex offender is relentless. P.O.C.